Hello, my inventory is kind of a mess right now. Not too sure what I want to do right now, but I know I need to work on some stuff because I am not doing well in the ability to complete the reincarnation quest. So, for starters, I need to get out of the Light Forest. And as opposed to wandering, I'm going to follow a trail. I could use the Wynncraft map, but like, where's the fun in that? Then I know where I'm going. It's like so much more fun not knowing where you're going. I know I'm close to one of the exits though. So I do remember that this specific spot is close to one of like, the archways, but I'm just not sure where this archway is. Here's one. This one might be going to No. No, actually, I think... No, this goes... What did he say? Yeah, we need Sinfras. Sinfras has the ender chests, because we have a lot of emeralds on us. I'm not really worried about emeralds, just all this other stuff that if I die at this point with 5 soul points, I will definitely lose. And I don't want to be losing a bunch of stuff when I could avoid that. So, City of Sinfras, here we go. Right? Cool. Level 75 plus. I'm level 77. That works out great. Is this the wrong way? This could very possibly be the wrong way, 'cause I'm not sure which one of these roads lead where. I was trying to complete the reincarnation quest earlier today, but I just kept dying. Like in the start with the sheep thing, there's a sheep named like Bob, but it's like Baab, so it's like spelled differently than like the Bob as in the tyrant of Wynncraft or tyrant of like Nessect. But like it wasn't even the sheep itself really. It was the sheep's like I guess henchmen or lambs. That's not how that works. Lambs are different animals, I'm pretty sure. But like it was the other organisms that were around the sheep that continuously just annihilated me. Like I was doing fine. I could deal. Can I drink this? Okay, it's gone now. But like I could deal with the sheep. The sheep were not a problem there. No, actually the sheep were a problem. It was Bob who was not the problem there. And then at the end, oh my gosh, at the end, Bob pulls up with like 50,000+ health, which on its own would not have been a problem. But like Bob combined with all the other like sword things floating around him, it was just utter annihilation. And so I'm just like sitting here, basically waiting for my soul points to regenerate because I did want to try it a few times. I think I ended up trying the fight alone with Bob probably 7 or 8 times, but every single time I just died. It was really bad. Like one of the I think maybe the second or third time I ended up getting Bob to like the second reincarnation and I got rid of all the swords that were like floating around him, but I still ended up dying. And so it became the issue of, okay, maybe I can just use like potions of agility, mana, dexterity, strength, and whatnot to, you know, live longer and do more damage to Bob. But nope, that's not what happened. I just die. Like, how come when I get more stuff to fight Bob with, I end up dying faster? Like, how does that make any sense whatsoever? It doesn't. It was bologna sandwiches. What do I do with this? Click to view contents. Oh, it's... Wait, can I put emeralds in it? Yo! That changes... That's actually kind of cool. I could just... Oh. Why would you do that? That's gross. I thought it was a... Pouch cannot hold this amount of emeralds. Yeah. I thought I could hold... That's not that good then. I thought it was better than that. I thought like would be able to hold more. But like I ended up dying to Bob because I just wasn't able to do enough damage or live long enough. I had to either run away, heal potion, or fight. And it's kind of hard to do all those at the same time. So I just mainly ran. So there's a lot of like escape spelling out of the way of Bob's attacks. And it seemed like there were like a lot of different like attacks that he could choose from, they all kind of killed me, but there was a range of options which I can somewhat respect, that it wasn't always the same thing that just took me out. Gosh, I got wrecked by Bob. So I'm gonna do the same thing that, what the, holy cow. Wait a second. Yo, this is good. Oh, it doesn't have, oh, it could have been great. It could have been greatness. Oh, I'm wearing this. I can compare them then. I was about to say it could have been great because it doesn't have like the health regen. But let's see. Minus 130, minus 130, minus 130, plus 100, plus 100. Okay, that's the same. Strength and dexterity minimum is the same. They both give plus 7. 1.1-3, 1-3, 9. Ooh, this one has 11 XP bonus instead of this one having 9. Then 19 earth damage and 15. Okay, this is just better. And then earth defense. Okay, we do lose 1 on earth defense, but everything else is just better. So we're going with these boots. Yeah. I guess I can try to sell these in the auction house. Oh, I do have other boots I want to sell too. I got some boots while trying to fight Bob and all of his minions all over Wynncraft. The quest wasn't even nice about it. It was like, yeah, you get to find these places, and I'm like, how do I go across this? Like, I'm pretty sure Baluto, like the guy guarding or outside of the Tomb of Bob, or the so-called Tomb of Bob, because Bob isn't dead, hence the name of the quest, Reincarnation. So talk to Balto, and Balto's like, yeah, so Bob kind of had friends. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean, friends? I have friends, probably, maybe, I don't know. But like, his friends, as Balto said, were scattered across the ocean. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean, the ocean? He's like, they are scattered across the ocean. Which was painful. It wasn't clear whatsoever. He just said the ocean, and so I'm like, all right, where in the ocean are we going? And that's all the information he gives. He says the animals, not even the animals. It's just the sheep of Ba, the wool of Ba, the chicken's favorite feather, and then Murin's hide or whatever, or skin. And so I managed to guess one of them correctly, which was the sheep at first, because we had previously been to Marco's Peaks, and on Marco's Peaks there was just a lot of stuff, and there was one point, I don't know which quest we did this for, but we had to go to Marco's Peaks, and we got to a fork in the road, and during the quest we chose one direction, and that direction is how we got found. I don't remember the NPC's name, but I know it started with a C. And then having completed the quest, we didn't need to go back there for much. So I'm coming back for this quest, and I'm like, okay, I think it's here, and I'm not 100% sure where. So I wandering around for 20 minutes, then finally finding the spot, and it's guarded by a butt ton of sheep, but it's walking sheep. I mean, most sheep walk. It was standing up this character is walking, and they're doing a lot of damage, which is to be expected because it's a level 75 or 4 quest. But the issue was that it was projectile damage. I can deal with the up close damage because of my arrow shield. This kind of bounces them away like that. And so they can't really get close to me, and also I can just use my escape ability to get out of there temporarily. But the issue with those things is they're shooting projectiles, and so I'm like, how in the world do I survive this? And so I think I die once in there, make it all the way back to Morrow Peaks, and then finally manage to get through there without perishing again. It's painful. And I get all the way to the end and get the sheep, and then get the heck out of there. And then next up is the Murins. I already had the feather from it's a really early on quest, and so I'm trying to figure out where the heck Merwins can be. And of the places we've been in Wynncraft that I don't know of across the ocean, there were the familiar ones like Mage Island and like the Ice Nations Isles. But one that I haven't been to was, I think it was this, Skins? No. It was something like skeleton, but it wasn't actually skeleton. It was just similar to the word skeleton. And so I head over to this island, and the guy that, like, the boat person doesn't even take us all the way. Like, dude, like, stops like 200 blocks offshore because apparently they shoot down or arrow down any boats that come any closer. And so I'm just like stuck there, not being able to get there on the main boat. And so I buy one of the smaller boats, which is why I have two right now. I'm just gonna like toss one out. So I have like a boat. I get over to the island, and there are just mobs. Like the first thing I see, I'm being attacked by mobs, and I'm like, well, this isn't fun. I don't want this. So I'm like skedaddling out of there, trying to not die to like the everything that wants my life. And it got up to this like mansion. It's like the best. Actually, no, it's more of a castle. It's euphemism to call it a mansion. I think it was like a castle, full on castle. And in the castle, there's basically just a labyrinth everywhere you go. I check upstairs, nothing there. Check downstairs, like the first floor again, and I end up going through this door, not even on purpose, just like randomly walking through some random door, and then it ends up going down to a basement. Basement being not even a cellar, like a full-on prison, which makes sense because it's basically a castle. And so in this prison, there are a bunch of different cells, and I'm thinking it's gonna be similar to like the earlier, like the sheep one. So I'm looking for like empty cells or like cells that might have cows in them. And I find a sign talking about Ruin, so I know I'm in the right spot. Which is like, there was no other way to know that you needed to go to like this Skeleton's Island, other than if you had like, I guess maybe check the wiki or like talk to someone who otherwise completed the quest. And so like this is like my 5th island I'm checking, and I am so relieved when I find the word ruins in this place because I had no clue if this was actually going to be accurate or if it was just some random guess that turned out to not be right like the other ones. And so I find Ruin's name, and like I'm wandering around this place for a good like 15 minutes before I actually find anything to progress. Because I needed to get a key. It looked like there was a hopper at one point, and it looked like it needed a key to get to the next part. And so I can't figure out how to get a key, so I kind of like find, and there was like one room in the center of everything, and then there was another room that was a kitchen. And so it makes the most sense to me, at least, that the key to unlock the next part of the basement or prison would be in the locked room, because it's most likely the guard's room. And so I spend like 5 minutes in there just like looking around trying to find stuff, and nothing. There are signs talking about Murin, and like just like in general the guards and the prison, but nothing useful to me. And so I'm like, I can't do anything with this. So I end up getting out of that room, and I head back to the kitchen, which I had previously been in, but it doesn't really do much, because I had already been in there for like a long time, and so I'm looking around, and I just don't see anything. Do you want agility? To dodge? Yeah, I think we're going to dodge. So, looking around the kitchen, and there's this mob just like stuck in the corner. That wasn't really abnormal because mobs can just spawn in random spots. I'm pretty sure it was like a guard mob. And so I go over to kill it, and there are these spikes on the ground, and then I walk into them not knowing what they are. I get like shaken around and then just spit back out. And there are 2 keys in my inventory. Like, where did those come from? I've killed guards like that multiple times before. And if you're telling me that I needed to actually go and stand in a trap just to get a freaking key, that is bologna sandwiches. That's so freaking impossible. How is someone supposed to just be like, yeah, I know how to get there? This is something I can like easily understand and do on purpose. Let me just walk into this. Definitely not a death trap, and get a key. Because yeah, that's where you go for keys. Not like, oh, I don't know, the guard's room. Does not make sense. Anyway, I get the key and then unlock the next part of the place. And as I thought it would be, it's Murin's like kind of holding area. remember when it has maybe like 20,000 health, so I take him out pretty easily. Then I'm like, I forget we're playing a Wynncraft and not like Hypixel, so I can't just do like, can't go to like this kind of like home menu and like warp back to my private island, like warp back to where I was previously. So I have to head all the way out of this island, take my personal boat over to the Ice Nations island, go to the sea skipper there, take that boat back to, at that point, I think I went to Nimract. And so from Nimract, I basically run over to Detless, and then head from Detless back to, finally, the tomb, with the feathers, the hide, and the wool. And I'm like, cool. Now I can finally do this quest. After like 2 hours of waiting, because I kept dying and didn't want to lose everything with my soul points being 0. That person just go through the exit? That mom went through the exit. And so, finally go through the tunnel, and not gonna lie, it is pretty cool. Like, the sheep, cow, and chicken on the wall are kind of funny. Cause like they're like the least menacing like things you expect to see on the wall. Like, basically a ruler of Wynncraft who could come back at any point and just take over the entirety of the. I don't know what the term for. Oh, like the lore world. It's not like he's not gonna take over the characters, but like if he wanted to, they could write him back into the lore, and like he could take over the entire story, and like completely change quests and stuff, which would be cool. But like that was just kind of a tangent that went on. And so I'm walking through this tunnel, and Bob's talking about like how he split his power again, like, between his allies, and his allies had been like the chicken, the cow, the sheep. And then that their drops is what kind of, it's what it took to open his quote unquote real tomb. And even with that knowledge, he chose to not allow me to hold his power, which is why we had to do the fight. So, walking up the stairs at the end of like the long, I guess, is it even fair to call it a hallway? More of like an entryway, it's not even just a hall. So, go through the stairs, and I'm like, alright, Bob, I'm feeling confident. I have like 20-25 healing potions and nothing else other than my armor and like my bow and stuff. And so I go on to fight him, and maybe like 20 seconds in, I'm dead, and I'm like, it's gonna be one of those fights where I'm pretty much just guaranteed to lose unless I can pull out a miracle. And at that point, I kind of pause the recording and go through again like multiple times, seeing if I can improve anything. And I don't. I just keep dying. And so I proceed to go to Trom's to get potions of, as I said, like the strength, agility, mana, and stuff like that. And none of that helps. And honestly, it felt like it made it worse because I just spent more time scrolling. I was like expecting that to do something, and maybe I'm just like not good at reaction time, or it's the fact that, much like with, what was that? One excavation site D, I think. It was just that I did not do enough damage, and I think that's what it is. So, the start of the quest I could technically upload, but I wouldn't feel really complete just uploading that by itself. And so I'm gonna wait to do this. I'm going to edit the other one I recorded, which I think turned out well. Not as fun as this one, that like the reincarnation one, because there's a lot more to it, and there's just so many moving parts that it's just cool to see all that come together in the end, like a final boss fight, and see that all go well. But seeing as that's not something I can do right now, I'm gonna kind of just like grind up, maybe get to level 79, possibly. Probably gonna do the Flight and Distress quest next, just because I accidentally started it walking through the airship after completing, which quest was that actually that I completed? That had to do with airships. Yeah, Aldori's Secret Part 1. After I completed that one, I kind of accidentally went into the airship and started the quest. So I'm probably gonna go do that, and then hopefully I'll get some more like better weapons and better armor and just overall gear, and then I can possibly change like where my skill points are situated in, and then complete the quest, having felt that I did it by myself, because I did do that one kind of not authentic solo playthrough of the Temple of Legends, where like I did everything by myself up to that point, but then at the end I kind of let my emotions dictate how I played, and so I asked someone for help, and it kind of took away from the playstyle that I wanted to do. It was really fun to watch that person just like absolutely destroy that creature, but knowing that I can do it myself and proving that to myself and my audience, I think is a lot more important than just asking for someone to walk through to do it for me. Because like at that point, what's the difference between me asking someone for help and then just me basically watching someone else just do all of the quest? It kind of takes away from that, and so I don't want to lose that. So I think I should, instead of even uploading like part 1 and part 2, just do it all in one episode. And so if it gets drawn out, then that's fine. I just want to have kind of like that quality over quantity thing, where I want to have the best I can possibly do in the episode. But one less hard push was replaced. Oh, that's cool. They do that. Which is why I won't be uploading that probably this weekend, sadly, but I still will be uploading a quest video. So, kind of ramble, but I really hope you guys will enjoy the quests, and let me know if you want to see more of this kind of just ramble and stuff. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.